Hello, my name is Dr. Van Horn from Physio Chiro Wellness Integrated Health Centers, and today we're going to be talking about how to fix foot arch pain. We're going to be talking about 7 causes, signs and symptoms, and treatment options. The first cause is plantar fasciitis. Signs and symptoms can involve pain at the bottom of the foot, typically around the arch and closer towards the heel. It is really prominent first thing in the morning for approximately 30 minutes or so until you start getting the tissues warmed up by walking around. And it gets better throughout the day. Treatment options can involve soft tissue therapy. So that's a hand-on therapy approach to moving the tissues around at the bottom of the feet. Custom orthotics is something that works as well to be able to support the arch so that the fascia and the tissues at the bottom of the feet are not overly being stretched with every step that you take. And something that you can do for home remedy purposes is you can use a tennis ball to roll at the bottom of your feet. So applying pressure onto the tennis ball is something that will help to massage the tissues at the bottom and potentially help to loosen that up. The next cause is fat pad syndrome, also known as heel pad syndrome. That's with irritation literally at the heel of the foot. And that pain can be referred to the middle of the foot, which is where the arch is, or even right to the front of the foot. So the whole goal is to create shock absorption, and we're able to do this with custom orthotics. So to be able to recreate that shock absorption through custom orthotics is going to go a long way. Something to avoid is prolonged standing, and especially if you have a job that requires standing for long periods, you want to be able to take breaks every so often by sitting, taking weight off of your feet. Something that you could do as well for home remedies is you can consider slippers or sandals, something that has good cushioning so that when you're walking on harder surfaces, it's not as irritating for you. The third cause is heel spur. A heel spur can mimic fat pad syndrome or heel pad syndrome. This is typically diagnosed through an x-ray, and this is when an x-ray shows that there's a bony prominence coming off of the heel. This can be very annoying because every time you put pressure on your heel when you're standing, it causes pain, irritation. So similar approach to fat pad syndrome, where we want to be able to create a custom orthotic that creates shock absorption at the heel for every step that you take. And once again, you want to avoid prolonged standing, and you want to consider cushion at the heel when you're at home, when you're standing on hard surfaces. So having a slippers, sandals is something that goes a long way. Soft tissue therapy, so hands-on therapy to massage the tissue around where the heel spur is, that is something that it has been shown to decrease pain when it comes to management of that condition. The fourth cause is joint restrictions. There are many bones that make up the foot and that make up the arch of the foot as well. So with that said, the fact that there's so many bones, it is very possible for those joints to become either hypermobile or even restricted. So when joints are restricted, it can cause irritation, it can cause friction, it can cause pain. So we want to be able to loosen up those restrictions. And typically we do that in clinic with something called extremity manipulative therapy, EMT for short. That helps us to gap the joints, to allow the joints to function like they once did. And that's pretty much restoring normal motion within those joints. The fifth condition is foot edema. Foot edema is the accumulation of fluid within the foot, the ankle, and sometimes up to the leg. A product that we want to consider is compression stockings, also known as compression socks. So with compression socks or stockings, that is a medical grade compression that is applied to the legs, and this prevents the ability for fluid to accumulate in the foot, the ankle, and the legs. It helps to promote circulation. Another thing that can be considered is foot, ankle, and leg massage. Condition number 6 is flat feet. Flat feet by itself is something that causes foot arch pain simply because of the contact of the arch to the ground. So we want to revisit the idea of custom orthotics. To be able to support the arch so that the arch does not come in contact with the ground, especially when you're on hard surfaces, is something that would prevent irritation to the tissues, which leads to inflammation and of course leads to pain. So custom orthotics, another form of therapy that can be considered is hands-on muscle release therapy, soft tissue therapy, and sometimes when there is pain, acupuncture has been shown to be effective as well. The seventh condition that causes foot arch pain can be a simple strain. A muscle strain can be caused from overuse. It could be repetitive. It could be from an impulse movement that causes a certain amount of force to go through certain muscle tissues. And then, of course, that causes pain. So what we want to consider in a situation like that is muscle release therapy. To be able to treat the muscles through stretching the tissues, massaging the tissues, that is something that will help to release the tension within the muscle fibers and, of course, take off that strain from that particular muscle. Remember, it's important to properly get assessed so that we could accurately diagnose you and determine a treatment program that works best for you. If you have any questions, give us a call or chat with us directly on our website.